Dash Cash, March 7th, 2023. And some things we'll talk about today are protecting, some of your assets, but your most important asset's going to be your health. Basically, that's what it's going to come down to. Without your health, you don't really have anything. As most people know, health is wealth, and you're going to need your health over here to make sure that you can continue to help your family, to continue to gain income, and to continue to do the necessary things that you need to do to take care of yourself and make sure that your finances are there, and if you're employed, to remain employed and stay employed, and if not, really to gain some benefits in case something happens. So one of the things we'll talk about right now is supplemental health insurance, and there's something called like a hospital confinement benefit. And basically, what happens here, right? If you have this type of health insurance, it's kind of like a popular insurance company that starts with an A, right? I'm not going to name any names here, but let's say, for example, you're a sports enthusiast and you get hurt. Um, you get hurt playing basketball, or you jog a lot, you get hurt. Well, depending on the severity of your pain and your injury, you might not be able to work. You'll probably also have you could have a hospital bill as well, where you could go into urgent care, or you could go into the ER, or you could be confined to a hospital for a while. If you have supplemental health insurance, where you have something called like hospital benefits or hospital stay, depending on the insurance company, it's called different things. It could pay for certain things over here, like for example, your daily stay at the hospital. It could take care of, maybe in some cases, your bill from your urgent care. Also, it could supplement your income in case you do have a loss of income because you can't work. It could pay a benefit for intensive care. So, there's going to be certain days that that's going to last until, you know, um, sometimes it could be as much as 30 days and a certain amount. So, say, for example, hypothetically, they might pay $250 a day for 30 days of intensive care benefits. And then, like, if you stayed in the hospital, it could be $250 a day for maybe 365 days or for an entire year, right? So you're going to want to check into that, because the supplemental healthcare, hospital indemnity is another name for it, could be really inexpensive, all right? And we do know accidents happen, and they happen to even the most careful people that are out there. Um, One thing too, right, is that when you're submitting in your claim for this accident or this emergency that happens, you don't have to call it in right away. You actually have some time to call it in. If you're unclear, right, if you're not sure of if it's covered, send it in anyways. If there's not a payout, generally that shouldn't affect your premium at all. And even if there is a payout, in some instances, it doesn't affect your premium. Anyways, just submit it in case things can get covered. Because if you're not in a position to earn income, right, and you might not have a lot saved, or your family's depending on you, this may be a lifeline to you. Okay, so there's also things that this could pay for, which would be like extended care. So if you happen to stay longer than normal in the hospital, like say for your first 30 days went by and you were getting paid a certain amount, $250, maybe they pay a lesser amount for extended care. And then even stuff for like outpatient surgery, right? You could get some benefits for that, right? So read the fine print and talk to your insurance company and see how much they'll pay for surgery benefits in case something happens. Also, what could happen sometimes in an accident is, an ambulance has to come get you. All right. So there is on some of these policies an ambulance benefit, where an ambulance ride could be 500 or $1,000. I mean, you could get a benefit for that. I mean, we all know that's pretty expensive. And I myself had been in an ambulance before too, and had saw the bill. So it is definitely something that you should look at, because it is quite a bit of money. and this policy actually could save you from, I don't want to say impending doom, but possible financial collapse, especially if you might live on the tighter side of things, right? So it's called hospital indemnity, hospital stay, hospital payments, whatever it might be. Okay, so that's one of the things for supplemental health, and it will take care of things once again like hospital confinement, daily confinement, intensive care, extended care, emergency accidents, outpatient surgery, ambulance, whether it's ground, and sometimes even air. All right. Now, the other thing that you might want to take a look at in terms of other policies here that can protect what your earnings are, because without a paycheck, right, or without your earnings, I mean, that's kind of like your lifeline to your livelihood, is your health and then the ability to earn, right? Well, what happens here if you become disabled? And there's a stat that's out there that say like 1 in 4 people while they're working at one point will suffer some type of disability. Well, there's actually disability insurance, which you could use to supplement your income. Now, you don't get all of your income if you're disabled when you pay into a policy like this, but some of these policies, especially on the short-term side, are going to be relatively inexpensive. So, say your job, which often might have disability insurance, you might be able to get a short-term disability policy on your own and use that in conjunction with the benefits that you're getting from your job in case you become disabled. So I priced some of these out and seen some of these myself, and they're relatively inexpensive for what you're getting. And so a couple things to look out for is going to be this, right? On the short term side, once again, that there's going to be a limited amount in terms of what they will give you on payments, but for the exchange of a small premium, it could be worth it to keep you afloat, right? You also have some periods over here where you're not going to be able to get the money right away, all right? And that is because the disability needs to actually be confirmed, okay? And that's confirmed by a note from the doctor or a doctor's report stating that, yeah, you're not able to work, right? And if you get that, right, it's called an elimination um, period. So let's say it was March 1st today, right? It's actually March 7th. This is Stash Cash, but let's say it's March 1st today. And you got injured today, you went to the doctors, and the doctor said you were officially disabled and you could not work your job or you could not work a job, right? And you had to stay home. Well, you can file for your disability, probably through your own work, and file a claim against disability if you have disability insurance somewhere else. And what'll happen is if you pick a 30-day elimination period, that means they won't start paying you until 30 days after that doctor's notice said that you were officially disabled. Okay. If you take a 60-day elimination period, then they don't start paying you until 60 days after the date of that doctor's notice, which stated that you were disabled. Now, there is a premium difference. So the further away your elimination period is, the smaller your premiums will be. But if you think about it, right, going to the stat that that I've seen around where they say 1 in 4 people could get disabled, um, that's 25%. There's a 25% chance, we are gonna have that issue at some point in our working career. And at that point, you never know where you're going to be in your working career, right? Are you towards the end? Are you in the beginning? Do you have a big house payment and some kids to look after? As far as your life is right now, do you have a wife who might be staying at home? And so you want to definitely take a look at you know disability on the short term side, and you can also look at it on the long term side. With long term, that's going to be typically over 3 years. It's going to cost you a higher premium, and it's going to be It's going to require a little bit more underwriting to get approved, right? But it could be worth it to you depending on your situation. So what I would just say, stash cash on today, March 7th, 2023, is you're here to protect your assets. You're here to build wealth. You're here to take care of your income, take care of your family. It would be in your best interest to go ahead and learn about some of these options that you might have so that when the time comes, or if the time comes for you and you're in that predicament, it's not like you didn't know about the option or you don't have the option already, right? The worst thing you could do is not know about it and then tell yourself you wish you knew. So with that being said, your health is your wealth. Once again, this is Stash Cash, March 7th, 2023. God bless, take care, and stash some cash.